have a good show. We've got a really incredible lineup. Bruce Arians tells it like it is, that man. He really does. And I love any opinions and analysis that he can give us. Thanks for watching this show. There's a lot of shows out there, obviously, tons of content. So thanks for taking ours in, making us a part of your day, guys. You can subscribe to the YouTube page if you haven't already. Please do that. Get in the comments. I look at those comments more than I look at Twitter, which sounds crazy because I live on Twitter. I'm sort of I'm moving on over to the YouTube comment section. It's a good place, and I get really great feedback, helpful feedback, even if it's, maybe not your favorite questions. Tell me what you want me to ask these guys. I sort of want to be the eyes and the voice of what you want to ask Dalton Kincaid, what without, I wouldn't know what the triple spike action was without Twitter and you guys telling me what you want. So we will talk to Dalton Kincaid of the Bills about that. Lots of questions for BA as well. The story continues to be about Philip Rivers. He had that presser yesterday, but we have a really brilliant slate, and it does kick off tonight. We've got Bucs Falcons. Started previewing that for you, getting you set for FanDuel Sportsbook with Gronk yesterday, but Tampa 4.5-point faves in a game they need to win to hold on to. Sorry? Hello? Oh, sorry. Couldn't make that out. Thought something was wrong. Got it. Here's the slate. Tampa is a 4.5-point fave in a game they need to win to hold on to the NFC South. Pretty clear yesterday Mike Evans is going to be out here. We haven't seen him in so long. It hasn't been the same season without him consistently being that guy on and off the field. And talking about him, listen, when he got this collarbone injury against the Lions, that Monday night loss, not great. Second year in a row, Mike is making a comeback, and it might solve the problems for this team. In case you forgot, these Bucs hit a rough patch without Mike last year as well. They went 0-4 when he got hurt against the Ravens. And then what happened when he got back? They were winners of 6 of the last 7. They've been 2-5 since that Lions game this year. And while, yes, losing your Hall of Fame receiver should make a pretty big difference, I don't know if I've ever seen anything like this. The splits are splitting. If you look at the last 2 seasons, the Bucs 13-3 when Mike Evans plays. Oh my gosh. They're 4-10 without him overall. The average 8-point, oh my gosh, this is great. 8 points fewer is ridiculous. Like, I hope you're smart enough, football fans. Even I'm smart enough, and I hate math and numbers and carrying the 1 and using my TA. That is a crazy number. Baker's passer rating, look at that plummet. It's down 20 points. I don't know that I've seen that before. That is kind of incredible. He's exceptionally meaningful for this team, and these are exceptionally meaningful games. I don't think it should be taken as some sort of indictment on anyone or interpreted in any other way, by the way, internet, than the fact that Mike Evans is the most important wide receiver in the National Football League when it comes to his team's success. It's a good thing, and hopefully we are seeing him back there tonight, and the Bucs can get back on track, and I would not be surprised. In fact, I like all of his numbers on FanDuel Sportsbook. Let's take a look, Gronk, and I handed out our props for this one. I said Baker Mayfield over 1.5 passing touchdowns, Bucky Irving over 62.5 rushing yards, and Bijan Robinson touchdown. And then Gronk is going with Baker Mayfield over 219.5 passing yards, Bijan over 73.5 rushing, and Emeka Egbuka getting in the end zone. And before we look at the slate, Matthew Hamilton, I get an extra point if Philip Rivers happens to start for the Colts against the Seahawks. I have not looked. I have not been on the internet. What's the latest on that?
I mean, he returned to practice yesterday, and he was slinging it around. He looked pretty good out there. We haven't heard an update as to whether or not he will be starting yet. We did hear Riley Leonard is fully cleared.
Oh, no.
So if they choose to go with him, he can play. But again, I don't think you do all this with Philip Rivers if your intention is not to play
I don't
him.
ask your opinion. You're the objective host here. I don't need your little weaselly nonsense in here. But I will ask you, when do you, I imagine that decision, it's Thursday. That decision has to be made and made public on Friday, I imagine.
I would think so. I would think by Friday. We'll know.
Okay. All right. We'll see. That's a huge point in a very tight race with the overall prop shot between, and I do appreciate you allowing that. And now I realize I just got to be just as greasy as you are. Just as greasy as you and Gronk are, and just try to weasel my way to the top as he did to stay competitive. Guys, whose props do you like more? Mine, Gronk's, or are you just going to ride Mike Evans? to the finish line based on these crazy numbers that I just showed you. We know he's not playing before he's healthy. He's healthy. He's meaningful, and that'll be an exciting one to watch. A division battle. Okay, let's look at the rest of the Week 15 slate, shall we? Chiefs. What's going on with the Chiefs? They're 4.5-point faves over the 9-4 Chargers. If KC loses, they could be eliminated from the playoffs. If the Bills beat the Patriots, shock, horror. And if two of those three teams at the top of the AFC South also win, Chiefs are gone. Kaput. I don't know. They're out. They're going to Cabo, which is crazy. Like, they don't even know what that feels like. Oh my gosh, can you imagine like what that would feel like to just all of a sudden get to pack it up and go on vacation and ship your cars home? Like, that's crazy. Okay, the Jags, as we see, have a chance to reach double-digit wins for the first time since they were the Jacksonville Jaguars in 2017 in that AFC Championship season. They got to beat the Jets, though. 13.5-point faves. And I do want to talk about the Jets here. Or the Jags, not the Jets. I'm in New York, so there's not much to talk about with the Jets. But I do want to talk about Jacksonville. It was the first time going down to that training camp. I expected Liam Cohen to get the best out of Trevor Lawrence. I don't know that we've talked about some of the things that are going down there enough. And let's, with this win being one that can take control of the AFC South, obviously, like with this Jags deal and like all the hooplas about Phillip and Daniel Jones and all of that, I do want us to focus on Jacksonville. And we talked last week about how things have been going so well for this team. We haven't really seen everything we needed to see out of Trevor, or really, I don't know what's going on with Brian Thomas Jr. You guys tell me what you think. You Jacksonville Jags fans who are more in it maybe than I am. You can tweet the show at Up and Adam Show, but like, on Sunday, we did finally see it. I don't know why it's coming out, why it's working right. You guys tell me. They connected. They have these like three beautiful, like, oh, you guys can do this. 3 deep shots in that game for 87 yards. These were plays that directly led to 17 points for the Jags in that win. Is it like that chemistry? Was it a slow burn and I just wasn't noticing it? You guys tell me, because this needs to, if the Jags are going to go on a run, and they clearly can, that's what it's going to come down to, the chemistry with Trevor and his guy BTC in this Liam Cohen offense. If you look at this, Trevor's passer rating has been 30 points above his season average over the last 2 weeks. He's thrown 4 touchdowns without a pick. That's his longest streak of the year. And part of that, I think, absolutely has to do with his supporting cast being healthy. I also think that last row speaks to a little something there too. Trevor's average throw has been almost twice as far downfield over these last 2 weeks than it's been over the first 12. What? That's like one of those dun, 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 dun. What? His downfield passing, always been a strength. We've known that. We've known that from back before he was even in the NFL. But him and Liam, I guess maybe it's like a trust fall kind of thing, and they just are letting it rip now because they have like more of that baked in, I got you simpatico thing. I don't know, but I like to see this a lot. I like, Dinkin and Duncan, not as much. I'd like to keep these deep shots going, and hopefully we do, as they can wrap up and take the AFC South. Did I get that right, Ham? You're more plugged into the Jags than me. Do we feel like are they going to go all the way or something? Is that what we're trying to get ahead of here?
I mean, it is amazing they've gotten to this point, right, without Trevor necessarily playing his best football consistently. And with this trending in the right direction, it does make them a lot scarier all of a sudden, especially if Brian Thomas Jr. gets going. It's been, I think, one of the biggest mysteries of the season, kind of what's been going on with him, but he looked like himself really in that Colts game for the first time all year. That was his best game of the year by far. And if he gets going now with everything else they have going, with what the Jacoby Myers addition has meant, with how well that defense is playing, that AFC is wide open, and this team is well-rounded and complete if Trevor's playing the way he's played the last couple of weeks.
I guess we'll have to see. It's the Jets, and that's why I said Jets, because it's Jets and Jags this week. If we're looking, okay, so minus 13.5 in Jacksonville, Saxonville, I made out with him and I don't remember his name. Not the first time that's happened to me. What is his name? DeVille?
Jackson DeVille.
Yeah. He hasn't called me. And now like other mascots are like, I'm not coming near you or making out or doing bits with you because like that's clearly your boyfriend, not my boyfriend. Anyway, we'll be back. We have a big show. Dalton Kincaid is, I don't know what I was about to say. Dalton Kincaid is a star, you losers. He'll be back after this talking to him about his career season despite missing 3 games. Excited about him. We talk about selflessness. We talk about Josh Allen. We talk about the triple spike, which I still don't quite understand, even though he broke it down, but you'll understand and you'll tell me it'll be great. Yeah,
I mean, after seeing what's going on with this Jag season, the other mascots, need to step their game up. Maybe there's something to that.
Yeah. I don't remember. I think, well, he kissed me. I was just thinking maybe I kissed him. And so then it's like fair, like, no, he kissed me. He did. He kissed me. He might have whispered something in my ear too. He kissed me.
You need to go back and yeah.
No, he
Do a
like did me
breakdown of
over
that.
if I remember correctly. That was my only training camp makeout. I'm loose with it today. You can get some information out of me today.
Oh boy.
Okay, so Philip.
Yeah. Philip, yeah.
Riley Leonard being healthy throws a little wrench.
Yeah.
Into things.
But you don't go through all this just for Riley Leonard, like to start again. And maybe they hold him back a week if they feel like he's not fully ready.
What if they just need an emotional lift? You don't know that, right? We don't need. What if you brought him in because this team's right there and they're really? I mean, that Daniel Jones thing. Can you imagine the deflation in that locker room in that building from that?
No.
In general, they love him. That was so brutal. It's all so brutal. Like that sounds. He could be an emotional lift for Riley to keep them alive. We don't know.
True.
I'm hedging. I'm not walking back.
I feel like.
Wait, does Gronk get a point if Riley's no? Does Gronk get a point if he? No, we didn't. I didn't make that bet. Did we? I have to watch the tape.
We didn't specify that.
Yeah, he doesn't. Just so you don't try to trick me. Gronk gets no points if Phillip Rivers doesn't start. Thank you.
He got his opportunity for an extra point and he cashed in on it. It's not like you would have gotten an extra point if he was wrong. So it's only fair. Like, you get an extra point if it happens. He doesn't get a point if it doesn't. Yeah.
You'll never know
I'm fair here.
You'll never know the joy of wearing horrible earrings and then your ears hurting the entire next day. It's really.
I will never.
Oh, high school Hamilton? No. I know college Hamilton, kind of. Not really, but I feel like we were kindred spirits in that way. Okay, we've got Dalton Kincaid here. Bruce Arians. If you guys have questions for Bruce, let him rip. What are we going to talk to him about?
There's a lot. I really want to dig into this Joe Burrow stuff with him. That was pretty interesting from yesterday. You don't hear quarterbacks talk that openly.
I was not surprised. Okay, let's do this. Welcome back to the Up and Adam Show. If you have questions for Bruce Arians and his brilliant mind and cool style, you guys can tweet the show. You guys can put him in the YouTube chat. You should be subscribers of the Up and Adam Show there. And thank you for the support. I got to sit down we are like on a roll with these Bills, and the Bills are on a roll. Those two things are the same. They are correlated. And I got a chance to sit down with Dalton Kincaid. I think I've talked to him every year of his career. I did not talk to him at training camp because we didn't go. So we finally got to catch up about that game. A lot of time spent on the game against the Bengals, which was an incredible snow game. So you'll get your fill on that. Where they are now, what's different, and oh my gosh, is this just the biggest game of his life against New England this weekend? I cannot believe you scored this touchdown in your first game back from injury. It was such a fun game, and I feel like it must have meant a little more to have that third quarter situation in your first game back. What was that feeling like?
The win's the most important part, but I think, snow game, it was just like everything that went into it, back and forth, kind of like a gunslinger battle. Mm-hmm. But it was just a lot of fun. I think if anything, it's kind of just getting the rust off. Definitely felt good to be back out there.
You motioned, and I saw friend of the show, DJ Turner, the bump out. I just knew it was over. What happened there?
The play, it's actually Zach Ertz. He's probably scored 10 plus touchdowns on it. So
right.
I've watched a lot of Eagles tape. He's running his whole career. So we kind of just basically watched him and wanted the DB to be outside leverage, and that's kind of what we got. So it was cool. I texted him after and I was like, I watched you score 10 plus touchdowns probably over the last 10 years on that play.
What did he say?
I mean, it was unfortunate because, obviously he tore his ACL. So he still responded and was, like, send me the clip. And I was just like, to be in that good of spirits, right after that happened is just, it's cool to see, especially from a guy you look up to in the position.
There's wins and then there's a win like you guys had, right? It was as a fan, I know what it felt like to be in that. Like there's certain wins that I imagine like carry more weight in the locker room and like for the momentum of the team in the right direction. What did that win over the Bengals do to you guys?
I mean, anytime you kind of got, some of the greatest quarterbacks in the league going at it, I feel like it sets up for just like a dramatic episode. And that's kind of what we got. You saw it and then you had all the elements factor into it. But I think just the team win coming together, the defense making some huge plays, CB, Big Phil, and AJ, they all kind of accounted for, those 2 turnovers. But I think, just everything that kind of goes into that and just the ebbs and flows of the season and the timing of the win it kind of worked out perfectly.
I just think you guys have the most selfless team in the NFL.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. I think everyone, if you like after practice, look around, people are playing basketball together and just kind of chatting, and it's just cool to see.
I need to know about the celebration. What is this triple spike? Because this is unbelievable. All the fans want to know. It's all people are asking me on Twitter to ask you about the triple spike.
I think it's developed into get an O-line in the ball and have them spike it, and we kind of judge it based on if it leaves the screen or not. So like I was to spike it now and it stayed like in this range, it would be bad. So we want the ones that leave the screen when we watch film. So we're kind of all just sitting there waiting to know just kind of from a first perspective, like, did they spike it well or not? And if it ends up in your hands, then I feel like you kind of have to spike it again.
You're having your best season. Do you feel like you're having your best? You missed 3 games to a hamstring injury, but I don't understand how that math works when you have career high in touchdowns. You're on pace for career high in yards per reception. Like, what is about this season that's like working really well for you? Even despite those 3 games, like that math's pretty crazy.
I think it's just experience, really. Experience in the offense, experience with Josh. I think that's definitely a factor into it. And I think just, getting older, I think you learn like little nuances to the game and ways to kind of take advantage of that.
Do you feel like you're getting older? Do you feel like you're more of like an OG vibe now? I'm so curious.
My first 2 years we didn't have, my rookie year we had like some other tight ends, but this is the first year we've had brought in like rookie tight ends. So I've always been the young guy in the room who's had to, bring snacks and get food for the plane. So and now it's kind of cool to see I don't have to decorate the room for Christmas and put up the tree.
Who does now? Who's doing that now?
Jackson Hawes and Kaleki Latu. So our 2 rookies are doing it, and they did a great job.
They did? What does it look like?
Yeah, we got stockings hung up. We got our tree up. We've got little decorations all over. We've got our what's the elf? The little elf they hide.
The elf on the shelf is in there?
Yeah. Oh yeah, we have elf on the shelf. So I hit it yesterday when I was in here on the off day, and our tight end coach was looking for it, and he's like, I couldn't find it. I hit it in plain sight, just kind of sitting on a tree in the room.
Speaking of fun, like truly, this team is scoring 30 points plus when you're on the field. It's just true. Sorry, I know it's team first and all that. What is so fun about this offense for you right now?
I think just the way everyone kind of celebrates each other's success. And it's, again, going back to this, everyone's kind of selfless on the team, and it's fun to see. Even like defensively, like CB gets his pick 6, and like everyone's going crazy. So it's just cool to see everyone celebrate everybody's success, and it's everyone wants the best for each other, and I feel like that's kind of rare to have in a league where you kind of have to be selfish to a degree.
It has to be your year. Do you understand, Dalton? This has to be the year. How are you guys feeling about that? Because it's almost like weirdly more pressure than you've ever had, because it almost feels like it's for you this year. You have to cash in.
Yeah, I feel like we try to just keep it internal. I think we kind of know what we're capable of and everything that we can do and our goals that we want to accomplish. And, the media creates all the narratives they want and does all this. And that's, of course, their job, But I think we're just kind of, hanging around each other and just listening to each other and our coaches and just kind of putting that first to prioritizing that, I would say.
Josh Allen, 40-yard touchdown run, first score in what is like 21 unanswered points in the fourth quarter. What are you thinking, honestly, when you see Josh slip past the D end with open grass in front of him?
I'm not really surprised, anymore. It's I've kind of just come to accept it. He's good at every single thing he does, and every single thing he does, he wants to be the best at, and that's just his competitive nature. But yeah, his ability just to kind of take over the game. I think it's, you see that with a few people in the league, and I think, obviously he's the best of the best at it. Any given moment, any given day, that's a guy who can just literally win a football game for you.
The Patriots. Huge game. If you could describe that first time you guys played them, what the takeaway from that game is that sort of stuck in your head through the weeks as you're preparing and knocking off teams on the way.
Maybe mutual respect. I feel like that's probably the best way to describe it. I think we both, understand what's at stake and realize that and have respect for one another. So I think it'll be a fun game. Everyone saw the first one and the dramatics of that. So definitely looking forward to it.
I want to see the triple spike. Good luck. Score a touchdown.
So
Take them down. Make it interesting. I'll see you at Levi Stadium. I appreciate it. You're so team first, Rick. You were the perfect person to sort of encompass what this team is, like that mentality. I couldn't be happier you're back on the field. I hope you're 100% healthy and ready for, you have a lot more weeks and a lot more stuff to go.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Dalton Kincaid. Thank you, Bills, for that brilliant interview and the time after practice when they're grinding to sort of celebrate him a little bit. I do think Twitter sucks. And I think people are kind of sleeping on what a difference Dalton Kincaid has made for the team this year. And I pointed out there, this team has scored 30-plus points 6 times in 9 games when Dalton's on the field. And they have scored once that many points. They've gone 30-plus once in the 4 games that Dalton Kincaid has not been on the field. He is catching over 80% of his targets. I believe he is. He's the number one in this passing game. I don't care that nobody wants to admit it. He is. By the numbers, he is. By the trust and chemistry, by the tenure, he is. Him being back out there and being healthy is such a big deal for the Bills. And not being healthy, not really something you can help. And to the Bills, to Josh, while they're making this run. And I will just say, you guys are like the Bills fans who are somehow in my mentions saying like, you're like such a disservice to your team. In like, whether you believe in like juju, vibration, like be cooler, like be cooler to him, be cooler to like your own people. It is so weird. It's so weird. He's a star. He crushes. I'm excited. He's going to be a huge deal in this one against New England, okay? He hasn't scored against them ever. I hope that happens. The Bills are trying to keep the AFC East hopes alive. They got to win the division. Buffalo obviously needs to win this one, win out, and then have the Patriots lose to either the Jets or the Dolphins to end the year. The Pats-Ravens game in 2 weeks has 1-seed implications, lots going on. But even if they don't win the division and they have to get it done on the road, this Buffalo team, Dalton is the guy. Thank you for that PSA. And that was kind of mean to me, but y'all are being mean for no reason. We'll be back with Bruce Arians, who I will defer to on all things. I won't be mean. I'll be sweet and cute. To BA, who's such a treasure. Yeah, it's Bruce Arians back on the show.
How you doing, man?
Bills fans, stop being mean, you losers.
Yeah, put that.
Yeah, I love being. He's like, yeah, what the fuck? What the hell? Yeah, yeah, that's what I have to say about that. Yeah. Firstly, yeah, I saw. Did you see any of that on Twitter?
I saw a lot of it. I saw a lot of it before the interview too. Like it's.
Oh really?
Yeah. How can you get on a guy's case because he's gotten injured? Something that's not in his control, and yeah.
Or like, hey, holy shit, you're still like having a career year and you missed these 3 games? Cool. Like,
yeah.
Let's pray for you to stay healthy, not like put energy into the world that you suck. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
It's so weird. Yeah.
What's weirder is I got like my schedules mixed up. I thought that the Dalton was like way later in the afternoon. So I like have never looked like shit. Like I just looked in that because I literally no, I'm sweating. That's the worst I've ever looked on TV just there. So Dalton, I apologize for that. And fans who have to watch that. As a hot mess. Yeah, anyway. I never want to see that sea air ever again. Are we gonna ask about Burrow?
Yeah, I think we have to.
Okay. What else do you think
Especially
you
with,
want to talk about?
it's a lot going on with the Bucs. I'm excited to see this this new
Mike.
docu-series.
Yes. Raise the flags, right? That's what it's called. Raise the flags.
Yep.
Happy 50th. Love that. I'm sad you didn't get to go to the camp. It was one of my favorite camps.
I know. Hopefully next year. We got to go again.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
I'm sure, and he's the only man in history that's successfully coached a 44-year-old quarterback too. So
I'm still pro
that'd be
Philip.
something that. Me too.
I think it's inspiring for an older generation. There, I said it. And I never have an easy time saying bye to these geezers at the end of their rope. I never want them to leave the game. So I'll hold on to them as long as I can.
Yeah.
There's a flip side to that because I've talked about this. Like when you go to a concert for nostalgia, like a band you grew up with, like you go see Metallica in 2025, you're like, what the fuck am I in for? Am I going to feel older? Am I going to connect to my younger self? Or are they going to look horrible on stage and old and I'm going to feel old? You know what I mean? And that better not happen with Philip.
Listen, I had a great experience with Smashing Pumpkins with that, so hopefully that's what Philip brings to the
He's
table.
He's got to be Smashing Pumpkins, and I'm not going to name any bands, but I've been.
We called Tom. Bruce said, I'm going to take the guardrails off. I'm going to let you be you. Players like you come around once in a lifetime, and that's not hyperbole. That's the truth.
Tommy started talking about, I can still do this. I said, bro, we watched every film for the last 3 years. I know you can still do it. Do you want to do it? And Tom gets a look in his eye. To me, it was like, oh, he's serious, boy. He wants to prove to the world he's still the best.
An absolute superstar, as we all know. I hope you're narrating this whole thing, Coach. It's 50 years of Bucs football. That was a little snippet from the amazing Prime docuseries, Raise the Flags. Tell me you're all over this thing.
I think I come in like episode 7 because the Bucs have such a great history, and there's some really good years before me, and there are going to be a bunch more after me.
This was 5 years ago, the Super Bowl. Does it feel that way to you?
No, it was 2 years. No, 3. Oh God, it's 5 years ago already.
5 years.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It is. It's really crazy. Was there something that you learned about the franchise during the process of the interview or watching back some of the series, if you have, that sort of like hit you?
Yeah, how much the Glazers, how great owners they are, how much family means to them. And, it was a joy working for them and gave you everything you needed. But, man, family really, really mattered.
What sets them apart, you think, or that organization? I was just saying in the break, going down to Bucs camp, it was my first time, Coach, just this past year. And it's really, there's like an aura to it. There's like, I don't know if it's the culture. It's like, obviously the front office, the Glazers, like you're saying. What is it about maybe that ownership group that sets them apart from the other ones in the NFL?
Yeah, I think when you have 5 brothers and a sister running it, sometimes it takes a little bit to get an answer. But it's going to be a good one when it finally comes and gets through the committee. But just the work they do in the community in Tampa area and the Bay Area is just amazing.
The 10-part docuseries, it's called Raise the Flags. I think it's streaming already right now, and that's amazing. And I like that you pointed out ownership because they've been so consistently on top of it and successful. A lot of changes in this organization, but when you talk about why it still stayed competitive, it's from the top down, and it's certainly due to their stewardship, however long it might take to get some answers. But we talk about the 2020 Bucs, yes, 5 years ago. I want to talk about these 2025 Bucs who added JPP. It's what is old is new again. They added him on the defensive side of the ball, someone who you coached in Super Bowl 55, I believe, the winning team. When you first heard that signing, what were your thoughts?
We finally got some energy because he's going to bring some energy, that's for sure. He's one of my favorite all-time guys, and he can still do it. I mean, in the right role, I can see him really, really helping us down the stretch.
33 sacks in 4 seasons in Tampa Bay from 2018 to 2021. He's at least bringing energy, but coach is saying he can still play, which is great. And they need it. They need some wins. They need to convince me a little bit. This is my Super Bowl pick in August, and I'm like, oh, I don't know. But then Mike Evans is back, so now I'm back in because he's that big of a difference maker. Collarbone injury, you know him well. We know that we need him. We need him to stay healthy too. Is there a snap count sort of thing if you're the coach that you're looking at here? Like, what do you expect to see tonight?
Yeah, I don't think he'll be on any kind of pitch count because it was a collarbone, not his hamstring. His hamstring's probably totally healed. But what he brings is just that one-on-one ability to just take over the game. And, when he's double covered, then Chris Godwin and Emeka will be one-on-one. And I love those matchups. Jalen McMillan getting his speed back out there also will be huge. They've had so many injuries in the offensive line. That's the only area that concerns me. And, getting these guys back for the stretch and hopefully Calais Cansey, if we get him back on the defensive side, that's about as full speed as healthy we can get.
I want to show you, I'm going to ask the control. Can you guys pop up the Mike Evans full screen that we had in the beginning of the show? I know what you're saying, right? The other guys will face double coverage. Mike Evans being back is huge. These splits are actually insane, though, Coach. Look at this. The last 2 years, 13-3, 4-10 without him. The passer rating drops by 20. It's sort of unbelievable to me how important. Why is this team so much better when he is out there, no matter who's around him?
Yeah, because he's a game wrecker. And, if you put any corner in the league out there, I don't care who it is, one-on-one, Mike's going to win 90% of the battles. And, Baker has such great trust in throwing it up to him. He's such a big target, especially down in the red zone. That's where we really miss him. But the problem, usually when he was hurt, Chris Godwin was also hurt. And
yes.
That's why we went out and drafted Ibuka, and he's done great. But to get all 4 of those guys on the field at one time, man, that'd be awesome.
I would love to see that, of course. And then in the AFC, you know something about coaching a quarterback in his mid-40s. You're the perfect person to ask. Let's start at the beginning here. You hear the signing, Phillip Rivers back to Indy. Are you like, he's starting? Are you head scratched? Are you into it? He hasn't played in 5 years. What were you thinking?
Yeah, I know the mental part's so easy for Phillip because he's played that offense his entire career, and he's been coaching it. And he's out there with the kids, and he's semi-good shape, but it ain't the same as being chased around by that Seattle defense. I'd be a little concerned if he starts this week, if Riley's healthy, because Riley's legs against that defense up in Seattle might prove to be very important. But Phillip's going to get it out of his hand. He's going to get it to the right guys. He can still spin it. There's no doubt about that. Just like Joe Flacco, they can still spin it. Their arm doesn't go away; it's their legs.
He made the joke that he doesn't really run much anyway, is what he was saying. If you're in Steichen's shoes and Phillip, you've had this rapport with him, all of that, we're not worried about the mental side. What do you need to see in practice? He was there yesterday. We saw some footage today and tomorrow. What do you need to see as the head coach to know he's the one?
Total command, which he's got. I don't think there's any doubt Shane would be very, very comfortable starting him because he knows the ball's going to, just like Daniel, the ball went to the right place all the time. And it's just a matter of keeping him upright. That offensive line's a damn good offensive line, and they got a hell of a challenge the next 4 games. I mean, they don't play anybody easy the rest of the way. But to have somebody that knows the offense in and out, got all the answers to the test before he goes in, that's very, very important.
Sounds like he's starting, Coach.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah, I don't think he's leaving everything he got going on all of a sudden coming out to just sit there on the bench. I don't think so. I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so.
And I can't wait to see it. And then Seattle's like a real tough test.
Oh, that's as tough as it gets in Seattle right now. First of all, you got to beat the heckler coming out with all the signs. When you come out of the locker room, they got the best heckler in the world in Seattle.
That guy sucks.
We're actually good friends now.
Do you have beef with him? What's your big story with him? Luke Kuechly hates him. If Luke Kuechly doesn't like you, you are not a great guy.
He's great now. He digs on stuff. He finds stuff on everybody. But he started with me the first time we went up there because they had lost. The Cardinals had lost, I think, 58-3 the year before. And, I'm coming at halftime and the game's close and he starts yapping. I said, but you better have your ass in that seat when this game's over, brother. And as soon as we won the game and came off the field, great job, coach, man. You're a hell of a coach.
Oh.
so he got off my back. And then the next year we go, hell of a coach, but a shitty GM. And he's killing Steve Keim.
So you like him?
Oh, okay. I love him. Yeah.
What do you think he'll say to Philip?
Oh, he'll have some grandpa stuff out there about, I'm sure he's got something good. The guy never uses profanity. I mean, he's just a professional heckler.
An all-pro heckler in Seattle and the number 2 defense, which also,
he's number one.
I don't know. I feel like if we're talking about heckling, he might have met his match with Phillip Rivers. I feel like that's a worthy challenger.
There's going to be some great comebacks for sure.
They better mic him up, BA. They better have this Rivers mic'd up when he starts. I'm convinced he's starting. Do you know, we have some footage of you coaching against Phillip Rivers. Take me back to 2014, if you remember, and I'm sure you remember this 18-17 victory. What do you remember?
Well, first of all, there was a flood, and we didn't know we were going to play the game.
Whoa!
And there was a huge rainstorm. All the interstates were flooded, and this went back and forth, and always trusted Carson to do the right thing, and he makes a great play here at the end, and just hell of a win for us.
Hell of a win. I love seeing Larry out there. John Brown. Oh my gosh. John Brown's out here. Of course, Keenan Allen, who's still doing his thing. Okay. Other storylines I need to get your opinion on because you just tell it how it is. And there's this whole bite going on from Cincinnati. I don't know if it's overblown. I want to know what you think. It's here's Joe Burrow, normal press conference, standard business. And he's talking about his current, he's asked and sort of, really asked about where he is with football. Let's take a look.
If I want to keep doing this, I have to have fun doing it. I've been through a lot, and if it's not fun, then what am I doing it for? And I've been through more than most, and it's certainly not easy on the brain or the body, so just trying to have fun doing it again.
Seem frustrated.
There's just a lot of things going on right now.
Football related, personally?
All the above.
I mean, he's allowed to feel that way and to express that. When you see that though, what read do you get?
He's tired of the injuries. I see a little bit of Andrew Luck sitting in that training room for 3 or 4 or 5 years in a row, never getting any downtime, and it wears on you, man. It wears on you. And I had picked them to beat the Bills and win the AFC North last week, and Joe was playing lights out, and then those 2 crazy picks. But, I think he's very, very frustrated because he likes winning. He's used to winning. And they're so close. You can't score 38 points every week and lose. Something's wrong.
When you saw those back-to-back picks, can you explain them?
One was just a batted ball. He's throwing just the right guy. And then they have a hot receiver. They ran a corner blitz, and he just didn't quite get it high enough. That's really hard to do, jump up and catch that ball. Most guys bat it down. But he's doing everything the right way, and it just didn't happen and good for him. You know what I mean? Went the other way.
Mm-hmm. How can the Bengals org make this right? If you even agree that they need to make changes or make it right, how do they make him love? I as a fan, it's like I don't want to hear that from him. I want him to love what he's doing and feel as supported as a star like he should be.
Yeah, I think a lot of things, the defense has been a struggle for a little bit of while now. I thought Lou Anarumo was a great coach, and they switched it over for Al, and Al brought in, the stuff that he's been doing at Notre Dame, and it just hasn't worked for their defense. And they've played really good in a couple ball games, and then they give up 40, and then they give up 42. And it's very frustrating as an offensive coach and offensive player when you're scoring 35 points a game and losing.
As somebody who's been coach of the year, I don't know that you've ever dealt with that with a quarterback. And all these Andrew Luck comps are happening, so that makes sense. How do you navigate when your human quarterback is going through that?
Yeah, I think you just rally around him. Locker room rallies around you, and everybody knows how he feels. And I'm sure there's other guys that feel the same way. Chase and T were not getting balls early in the year. Then they brought in Joe, and they were getting like 20 targets a game. And then Joe Burrow comes back, and it's even better. The light is still bright for Cincinnati's offense, but they just got to do something about this defense to get better. And with Trey Hendrickson out the rest of the way, they could still win the AFC North with an 8-9 record.
Which is wild. I don't know who wants to win that North. I mean, Aaron Rodgers looks better than ever all of a sudden, huh?
Yeah, that all the controversy last week got him fired up.
Yeah, legitimately. And that's exactly right. And they might go, what a story that would be in my head, out of nowhere. I haven't really been paying attention. And then, of course, last week he's running it in and feeling good, and they're on top right now. So we'll see. Elsewhere in the AFC, the Chiefs, they somehow still have a chance. They're still being talked about. They're still, I'm looking at FanDuel Sportsbook. There's still a chance for them, a great one. People are literally calling Andy Reid stale, predictable. We got to switch this up. From your perspective, is there something to that?
I think the Chiefs, if they get in, watch out, because they can win on the road. That's not a problem. And the defense, their defense too is like hot and cold. And when they're like that last week, third and fourth quarter, man, they were lighting it up. And then Houston comes back, and Andy Reid is probably one of the most innovative coaches in the league. Now, it's always been, has got a great imagination. The points are just down. Balls are being dropped that weren't dropped before. They're not getting some of the calls they used to get, and also they're penalized way too much. That I'm not used to seeing the Chiefs have that many pre-snap penalties.
They're penalties they shouldn't be getting, or they just have too many penalties?
Too many penalties that are just concentration penalties. Misalignments, tackles being off the ball, all those kind of easy things pre-snap that's not supposed to happen if you're the Kansas City Chiefs.
It just feels like everything that went their way for so long isn't like balls are bouncing out. These drops, like it all just feels like it's like missed by like a beat. And I don't know how to fix that, but there's this like, I think it's like probably a pretty lazy narrative to say like they got to switch something's got to be shaken up. But I don't know if that's true. Like if you were to add something or tweak something to get that aligned to where it needs to be, what does that look like?
You get both those tackles healthy real quick. That is so hard to do. Play with your third and fourth and then fifth tackle, who actually played really, really well in the ball game and handled Daniel Hunter unbelievable. So they hit a home run with that one. But like I said, I'd never count them out. As long as Patrick was playing, I'd never count them out, and Andy's coaching and Spags. So, like I said, watch out if they slip in.
Yeah, being a coach sounds real fun until two of the biggest names in the industry that are so respected, like Andy Reid and Tomlin, there's fire chance. There's
and Harbaugh, John Harbaugh.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
There's pitchforks out your window. Look, I don't even. What is it? What do 3 Super Bowls even earn you in this industry anymore?
Hey, my last 2 years in Pittsburgh, they had a fire at BruceArians.com. We just won the Super Bowl.
No, they didn't. Did they really?
Oh yeah, big time. And,
you were an assistant there with Tom. Like you're talking, like what do you make of what's gone on? I mean, whether or not they make the playoffs, I don't know what that earns him. I don't know. Consistency means nothing, I guess.
It's a totally different team than when I was there. That defense we had with Ben was in his prime. We had everything we needed, and to go to the Super Bowl 43 and 45, I think Mike's first 4 or 5 years, and then then it's kind of gone a different direction. They didn't win anything with the Killer Bees. I mean, maybe a playoff game. And I don't know. It's just to watch them play now, it's not Steeler football that I know.
So who do you like? Killer Bees is crazy. I forget, it's so crazy. Le'Veon Bell, and then gosh, those were some wild times. Tomlin really had his hands full. You too. If we look at, let's look at maybe the Super Bowl odds, if we can pull those up for Coach. Who do you like? Am I sleeping on that Texans defense? No joke. Patriots, are you in? Who are you in on?
I'm all in on Houston's defense, that's for sure. and especially if they sneak it out and win at home.
They're not even on here.
Yeah, I know. The Packers, they're playing really good football right now. Something's missing, although Micah has really made a big difference. If Seattle gets the home field advantage, watch out. That defense. I think the Bills, Patriots, it all depends on home field advantage. But I picked Denver to go to the Super Bowl, and right now I picked Seattle.
Texans sitting there at plus 1,600. I'm told just below Philly. A couple quick questions. What are the Packers missing?
I don't know. They looked really good the other night against the Bears. Christian Watson being back helps big time with his explosiveness. Gosh. And yeah, he showed up big time. It's hard to count the Lions out, but they might not even make the playoffs. And
yeah.
But yeah, I think they're just, I guess they got to do it. I just got to see them do it.
Right. There's something where I'm like, I like that Jordan's letting it rip more. I think that's important.
Yeah.
Let him do that. Jacobs looked good, got in the end zone. Like they looked tough on D, like we were saying about Mike, but there's still something, and they've got the Broncos, by the way, woof, this week. Then they have Chicago again in Chicago. And I'm just like, you guys really have to prove it over these next two games for me, because it's just like this. I mean, if it's them or the Rams, the Rams are winning the Super Bowl. The Rams are perfect. The Rams, like, they're boring perfect, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think, with their running game and Puka and Devontae and Matthews playing lights out at his age, it's just amazing. I always said he's the only quarterback I'd go out and watch warm up. He's just amazing. And,
I like your Seattle. Go ahead.
Seattle, like I said, home field advantage between the Rams and the Seahawks. I don't think you want to. The Seahawks have way bigger home field advantage because SoFi sells out to the opposing crowd so much. You saw Pittsburgh, you saw Philly.
You like the Seattle crowd. Yeah, you're so funny. Okay, Seattle. This is my last one for you. I want to buy somebody. I was at a dinner last night talking about Seattle. They're the sneaky one. Why don't you, if you like them, that must mean that you don't believe this narrative that Sam can't win that big game wherever it might be. Can you help me understand? There's a lot of data for those big games, and Sam, not just like struggling, like the meltdown of Sam Darnold. What do you make of that?
That's a real thing until you win it. And like I said, if they get it home and win the first one, he's going to feel real more comfortable in the second one. And once he gets comfortable, watch out. And with JSN and everybody he's got out there and that defense, the 12 is real. That's a great place to go play.
So you think so we're talking to you, Seattle crowd. Come up, support your guy. It's a real thing. They get the Rams again next week with the West on the line. Huge, huge game. And he has not fared well against that defense, even a little bit. I'd like to buy Seattle. You just gave me a little more confidence. BA, you're the best. I hope you have a Merry Christmas. It is so great to see you. And everybody, go stream Raise the Flags. If you're a football fan, you want the nostalgia, the creamsicles, everything, the pirate ship, the whole thing. It is a 10-part docuseries celebrating 50 years of Bucs football featuring Bruce Arians, and you can see it on Prime. Thanks, Coach.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays to you. We'll be back after this. Oh, man. Seattle. You can't get over it until it's a real thing, and you got to slay the dragon. And their odds will skyrocket if they beat the Rams. Where is that one?
Yeah. That one, double check. I believe it was in Seattle, though. Let me check.
This next one? This next one?
Yeah, it's in Seattle. Oh, it's Thursday Night Football, too. 5
minutes of show left. When I just went like an extra 5 with him. How could that be? Matt, how could we have 5 minutes left in the show?
It was Kincaid was a shorter interview. I think that was part of it.
So why wasn't BA a longer one? I had to ad-lib to make it so much longer. Just timed weird?
Yeah.
We're sorry, where did you say that one is?
It's in Seattle, Thursday Night Football next week. Potentially prop shot on the line as well. Who knows?
Their odds. What a fucking freaking sorry. See, I haven't slept and just the swear just fly out of my mouth. What a freaking story would that be?
Yeah.
They win the West and go. They got it all going. Oh, and then brutal for Minnesota. Just
yeah. And that's
I think
what it
Jets
is. It's
fans
so
would
tough
be happy for him. I do.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think they don't hold animosity, at least the Jets, like they don't hold any animosity towards him. It's more about the organization.
It's the only question about, but it's a big, it's like it sucks that it's a fair question. It's a question I have. Just because it's not even like the win-loss, you know how we did like the Kirk Cousins, like primetime win-loss.
Yeah.
Like, you can like, you know,
it's
like
the way it looks.
It's a meltdown.
Yeah.
At least it looks like that. Maybe there's nothing to it, which is, I almost would suck more.
Yeah. And it was interesting. We can talk about this a little after, but I was really impressed with what he showed on Sunday because, Raheem Morris runs the same type of defense Shula
we'll
does.
talk on the air.
They come from LA together.
We're just going to bullshit on the air right now. No, we're just going to bullshit. No, I'm not listening to anything. We got 5 minutes, baby. We're just going to talk. I'll pull up prop a shot. Thank you. I'll ask for it. Thank you. Welcome back to the Up and Adam Show. Big thanks to Bruce Arians and Dalton Kincaid. Hamilton, who are our guests tomorrow on this program?
Oh, we have Michael Pittman Jr. ahead of Phillip Rivers'
Michael
debut.
Pittman lied to us, that's for sure. Go on.
Yeah. And we have Josh Pate with big college
Mr.
football
Future
things
Commish.
happening. So, yeah. So that'll be fun.
Michael Pittman, of course, a big game for the Colts against Seattle. BA just got me very scared for Phillip. They do have the number 2 defense. I believe he's starting. I think he'll look just good enough. And Coach BA basically just said that. He said, I asked Coach, what is the thing that you need to see in practice yesterday, today, and I imagine by Friday they'll have to make that decision. Command. You think he doesn't have command down? Get out of here. He doesn't want to run. I don't know, from your football brain perspective, is there a world where he won't be in harm's way? I mean, I don't know. And if he goes down, is it just going to be like, is it just going to be awful? I'm going to be cringe watching this, aren't I?
And that's the thing you look for, like how long is he hanging in that pocket and what does he look like after he gets hit? Because with that Mike Macdonald defense, it's going to happen. It's just how he recovers, how he responds from that, both from obviously the physical, how does he get up, but the mental, like how does it change his approach as he goes? Like, does he start trying to get rid of the ball too quickly?
I think it's going to be great. I think he's going to be great. I think he's got great weapons around him. That's where are we at with that one? That's a tough line.
Yeah. Is it still 13 and a half? Yeah.
Do you know what else I was thinking about? And maybe I don't know if Jason's listening and he can look it up, our Madden wizard. They have to put him in Madden now?
It's a great question. They have to.
Oh my gosh, I'm so Madden. I'm a little Madden girl. Can we look that up? Like, does he have what do you do with him? Enter 44-year-old quarterback with no data on him since 20 whatever, right? How does that work?
Yeah.
It's unprecedented, which is why I love it, because I hate that everyone's like, it can't be done. It can be done, and I'm rooting for it because I find it kind of inspiring in general. And it's not, and I know that there were some other options to look at, but it made sense for them. It's their decision.
Yeah.
Live and die by it, like ride or die.
I'm sorry. Yeah. And no offense to anybody else that they could have called up from practice squads or whatever. They're not giving you what potentially Phillip Rivers can. You're trying to make the playoffs. You're still right there. I love taking a swing for it. And we do have a line on Phillip Rivers passing yards now this morning.
Tell me.
It's set at 152.5.
I knew it. He's starting, everyone. Get ready. Get ready for Lip Rivers back. Gosh darn it. And what is it?
There's no line for Riley Leonard, by the way.
It's what?
152.5. And there's no line for Riley Leonard. There's only line for Phillip Rivers. Yeah.
Over, you suckers out there. Over all freaking day at FanDuel Sportsbook. Are there any deals this week on FanDuel? I'm sure there are. Generosity abides. abounds. It's plentiful. If you're in Missouri, do we have that deal? Can we show that from the other day? Missouri, we are live.
Oh, we do.
Get in on. Support a Midwestern team, baby. If you're in St. Louis, you don't like the Chiefs right now, get in on the Colts, baby, at Seattle. It's a Missouri daily drop. You can get new rewards every day. Please welcome Missouri to FanDuel Sportsbook, the #1 sportsbook in the world. Go check it out and get your action there. I don't think we're doing any sort of parlay this weekend, but I do have Prop Shop for tonight. Let's take a look at it. Gronk and I put it together, and it's Mike Evans is back. I would definitely, well, maybe we can pull up those lines while I'm doing this, Hamilton. Mike Evans lines for tonight, but I think Baker over 1.5 passing touchdowns, Bucky Irving over 62.5 rushing yards, and Bijan Robinson anytime touchdown scorer. As far as Gronk's picks, you can parlay these, you can just do whatever you want. You can go against him and see if it's Baker Mayfield over 219.5, but he's got Mike Evans back. I like the over as he has it. Bijan to go over his rushing yards and Emeka Egbuka as his anytime touchdown scorer. Do you have Mike Evans lines for me?
I do. So his line for receiving yards, 39.5, and he's plus 165 to score a touchdown.
Well, la. You're welcome, everybody watching right now, for that little gem. 30 what? That's 7 years younger than Phillip Rivers' age, whatever that yardage is, and you guys have to go the over on that. What else is it? He's scoring a touchdown. Are we stupid?
Yeah, plus 165 to score a touchdown. Yeah.
You're welcome. I met Leonardo DiCaprio last night.
Wow.
I just said I met him. Do you think can you meet somebody twice? Understand.
How did that
Bruce
go?
Arians, the absolute GOAT, best. Michael Pittman tomorrow, read between the lines. It's going to be an outdated interview because they're going to name Phillip Rivers a starter tomorrow morning. Dalton Kincaid. I was mean about that today, and I meant it. We'll see you guys tomorrow. I forgot the guests already, but you weren't going to make fun of
Josh Payton, Michael Pittman Jr.
What kind of